Top 5 smelliest fish. Number 1, surströmming. Number 2, gizzard shad. That is it. Every other fish smells exactly the same. Gizzard shad smell awful. You won't know until you catch a gizzard shad, but holy shit. I caught one gizzard shad one morning in one of my dip nets. It took like months for my dip net to stop smelling like gizzard shad. And it smells bad. Not like just fishy, it's like fishy, slimy. I feel like catfish smell fine. I don't think I've ever had any issues with catfish smells. Gizzard shad are just terrible, man. I think they just start decomposing the instant you touch them. Biggest fish you ever caught? Depends how you mean. You mean like me on my own with a dip net, or in efforts that I've been part of? Because it was literally a week ago I held an Atlantic sturgeon that like would not fit on the screen. Like, it's larger than my wingspan, and I just picked up this Atlantic sturgeon and threw him into the ocean. Isn't the gizzard a part in a bird to grind food? Yeah, I think isn't it this part? Or is that the turkey thing is called a gizzard? That's a guzzard. No, that's a buzzard. I'm thinking of a vulture. No, it's a something, there's a word somewhere in there. Yeah, Lake Erie does just smell like fish. You know why, Maizute? Because thousands of freshwater drum die in Lake Erie every day. Lake Erie has created an infinite fish glitch, and it's just freshwater drum. When I was at Lake Erie, you walk on the beach, and every 10 feet there's a decaying freshwater drum. You swim out in the water, and every 10 feet there's a floating, decaying freshwater drum. You dive, like past the 5-foot mark, freshwater drum everywhere. There are so many freshwater drum in Lake Erie. And they're invading New Jersey now. I don't know if you guys know this, but the lower Delaware River in New Jersey apparently has freshwater drum now. I have not personally seen them as of yet, but I know lots of people who have seen them. But apparently it's a couple hundred, maybe 1,000. Probably, though, in the next decade or so, the Delaware River will be overrun with freshwater drum. But that's not nearly as bad as the potential that Asian carp are now in New Jersey. We've got some real bad news in that regard. Someone caught an Asian carp in Central Jersey. Hopefully it turns out to be a one-off, like from a fish market or something, not a sustained population, because then we're really screwed. If you guys aren't aware, the U.S. Army has put billions of dollars into an electric barrier to stop Asian carp from getting into the Great Lakes, even though they're already in the Great Lakes. That's how bad they are to the ecosystems that they end up in. The Army is fighting these fish. I should make a video on that. That's actually a great YouTube title. Let me write this down. It's fairly cold. It was a decently cold day. I had work today. I did a bunch of field work today. I was outside all day. In the morning, my hands were a little cold. It was like 40 when I woke up and started working. And then by the time, like when you're carrying stuff around, doing heavy lifting, I was getting sweaty. Like I took my jacket off at one point. Wish I was doing field work. I was stuck in organic chem lab all day. I mean, I wasn't so much doing field work as helping another person. Basically, I work with people who have projects, and then this person has a project. I don't normally work with them, but they needed some help today, and so I helped them. And when they said, oh, we need help today, what they meant was, we need someone to carry a bunch of heavy shit through the woods over, logs and rocks and ravines and so forth. So that was my day. And also it was 40 degrees. That's how I ended up doing quail call surveys at 5 a.m. They always be asking you to volunteer for shit. And you always end up doing crazy things that no one else... I just need some help, they say. Yeah, I had the same thing. I went on like a ocean trawl research vessel. And the title was, oh yeah, no, we just need some help. Just like an extra person on board. You're basically a volunteer, You're just going, you get to see some cool fish, you'll just be out on the deck just helping with whatever anyone needs. Yeah, okay. It was a 16-hour day on that boat, and basically the entire time that you're out on the deck, you're just sorting fish. Just sorting just heaps of fish, and then measuring fish. And oh my god, I did not know how much mucus skates make. Skates, the little ray-like things, the flat fish, they are so yucky. Like, it was windy out, and I felt so bad. This poor girl is, like, taking the data on her thing, and we're measuring the skates on this board, and the wind is blowing the mucus off of the skates. So as we're holding the skate down on the board to measure it, just, like, clouds of mucus are flying into this poor girl's face while she's trying to type in data. She just, like, put glasses on and just took it. So, clearly done it before, but I would not have wanted to be in her position, no. That was definitely gross. To be fair, I did see some cool fish. We saw an Atlantic angel shark. I don't know if you guys have ever seen one of these. They're also known as sand devils because they are known for biting off fishermen's hands. Not only do they have a bite strong enough to bite through cut-proof gloves. I'm talking the kind of gloves that you can run a knife across. Not only do they have a bite strong enough to get through that, they can also leap 3 feet in the air from laying on the ground. So this fish is laying in a pile of fish that came up in the trawl net. He can instantly jump up 3 feet and bite your entire hand off. So we had like 3 of those come up in one trawl, and that was an effort of like, everybody's trying to not lose a hand. We need to get this thing out of here. Wow. That was a wren directly outside my window. Did you guys hear that? Did you guys hear the wren? A Carolina wren just sung directly outside my window. You didn't hear it? Damn. It was pretty loud. I have headphones on and I heard it. We do have a lot of wrens in my yard. Nowadays, maybe there's a winter wren hiding around, but it's probably mostly Carolina wren. The house wrens are gone. I thought you liked fish, not birds. Oh God, he has more than one interest. Oh God, he's learning things about other things in nature. Oh God. Bro, I'm trying to find people to go birding with. So eBird has this thing. Well, eBird, basically, if you don't know, is like iNaturalist, but for bird people. And you can see when people post like lists, they go out birding and they keep a list of the birds that they see. And there are people who live like close by to me who go birding all the time. But eBird has no way to message people, which I guess is like a privacy thing. So there's this person who goes birding at the same place that I go, basically almost every day, and yet we have never run into each other. And I want to contact them so that we could just go together and combine our efforts. Just yell till you find them. Okay, so that's the crazy thing is maybe I'm just thinking of it from the perspective of a content creator, but I would not post my address online, right? They literally have, so on eBird, you can have locations, and those specific locations will, you record birds at specific locations. So this person has a location called My Home, and it's literally plinked directly on top of their house. And they'll observe like birds at their house on their feeder or whatever, and it'll like be plinked directly there. And I guess if you're a regular person, that doesn't really matter. But in my head, I'm like, yeah, maybe that's not the best idea. So it's crazy because it's like I know where this person lives because they plink their bird observations directly on top of their house and call it my house. Our checklists, you keep like a list and it shows the time. They're always like 30 minutes off, I swear to God. Like I'll go birding from like 7 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. and then I'll see their checklist starts at like 9:45. Yeah, no, you should always obscure observations near your house, but don't do too many obscured near your house because iNaturalist observation obscuring is kind of bad. Okay, so the way that iNaturalist obscuring observations work, if you obscure an observation, it just puts a random plink somewhere within a rectangular, I think it's a square range away from the actual location, right? So if you have one dot, it's like, okay, who knows? That could be any amount of distance in any direction. Like you could create a theoretical bubble, but it's pretty hard, right? If you get 2 plinks, it's like, okay, well that narrows it down quite a bit, all right? Now we've got like a circle that we can be in. You get 3 plinks, okay. If you've posted like 50 things from like your house all obscured, it's pretty easy to tell. It's just the center of all of the obscured observations. So there's some places on iNaturalist which are really funny. So there's like a dude who goes fishing and he has his secret fishing spot and he'll post like a bass from there every day and he's been doing it for years. So there's hundreds of observations and they form a perfect square So it's very clear that the center is where the where the hidden location is, because everything is equidistant from that. Hide in the bushes. Go to their house, hide in the bushes behind, and like play back. What's a really rare bird? Oh, how about a cotton pygmy goose? That's a cool one. Just go in their bushes out back. At that point, just knock on the door, bro. That would be weird. You knock on their door and you're like, hey. I also don't know, like, this person could be like a 12-year-old girl or like a 67-year-old man. You know, like there's, you know, eBird is not exactly descriptive in terms of profiles. So it could literally be anyone. I mean, it could be literally Joe Biden. That's a fun thing, guys. You guys want to see? I just set up my tank today. I set up my 55-gallon tank. It's currently cycling, so there's no, you know, fish in it. That's what it looks like. You can't see too well. I just got the bubblers, a bunch of rocks and everything. Rocks and sand and all that. And I'm going to have bridal shiners, and I'm going to have iron color shiners. I want to make like a giant shiner school. I want to have bridals and iron colors mainly, right? So I want to have like bridals and iron colors, maybe 5 of each. And then I want like 2 spot tails, 2 swallow tails, 2 satin fins, 2 spot fins. Though maybe both of those aren't necessary because they look identical. A comely or 2, at least 1 or 2 comelies. I want to just have a giant, the shiner dome. I just want to have every shiner that New Jersey has to offer. That'll do well in tank. I wouldn't put, I don't want a golden shiner. They don't count. I think they're native technically, but we put them everywhere. They're just ugly. I don't want a golden shiner in my... I'm trying to think of what else New Jersey has. I might want like a bottom feeder. Should I get like a shield darter or something as well? Yeah, it will look amazing once it's planted. Let's see. Let's look at the species. I always forget what we have. So let's see. Tessellated darter. I don't think they do so well in aquariums. Probably wouldn't do that. Common shiner. They get very pretty, but I don't know. They're kind of an ugly fish. I don't think I'll put a common shiner in there, to be honest. Maybe I put some mosquito fish for the sake of like rounding out the top. I don't want a golden shiner. Bridal shiners are definitely going in there. Spot tails, definitely. I don't think I want a creek chub sucker. Maybe 1 creek chub sucker would be cool. Swallowtail, yes. Iron color, yes. Satin fin, probably. I think a single shield darter would be cool, or like 2 shield darters would be cool. A comely, no. Comely, yes. Sorry, fathead, no. Oh, a high bog would be so cool. An eastern silvery minnow. Oh, but they're so difficult to catch. But they can survive in anything. It would be pretty cool to have. I might be one of the first people to ever keep an eastern silvery minnow in the aquarium. They're a pretty uncommon one. A pearl dace. Should I put my pearl dace in there? Yeah, probably not.